Episode 6. Welcome back to another episode at Consciously Evolving Enterprises. As always, I am your host, Mr. Ryan Dillon Brassington. A quick introduction. Okay, so this is a series of true short stories where we have been exploring the scary paranormal happenings caused by unfortunate domestic events in the family home. These are all freaky stories of survival in a domestic violent haunted home, from the memories of people that with lived experiences and have been kind enough to share their events and stories with us. Some seeking to find a common connection to verify the truth, others tell their truth to find healing, to heal that inner child, and reconcile with a past long avoided, push away and shut down. With true tales they open the door where shadows linger in nightmares, memories, fragmented memories of a former life lived as a child, and the real-life monsters are the parents we are meant to love in that family home. Ryan Smith, 1987. So you think you're a wrestler, hey? It happened as quick as I'm saying it. A tall, bold-headed man dressed in black leather chaps and jacket walked in the front door, taking up the light in the doorway. He walks over to the kitchen table, asking my mother a bag of drugs. My mother stood up and went to the cabinet on the other side of the room where the drugs are stashed. In these few moments, me as a 8-year-old child said something like, "You're heaps tall. You'd be a good wrestler," the massive man replied with muttered words along the line of, "A wrestler, hey." The then grabbed both my arms, forced my head down between his knees. He held my arms back. He then dropped to his knees onto the floor, using all his weight with head between his knees squeezed tight as my face slammed onto the ground below, my forehead flesh cracking open with impact pressure, my skull fractured from the force. My nose met the back out my head. I thought I was dead, seeing stars and an overwhelming pain consuming my head. I ran off, crying in shock and devastated with pain. I was never the same again. I knew something was wrong with my head, my brain throbbing, each pulse an explosion, a rupture of brain matter and blood cells, broken skull, bleeding nose. All this went ignored by the surrounding adults dealing drugs like weed and speed. A boy crying curled up in a ball, hiding from the world, didn't think anything other than his father could ever cause him harm. I was the invulnerable child, surviving many tragic and comedic episodes in the past. This one hurt my inner child. Caused walls and barriers to keep safe, forced distance and alternately grow another personality and extended ego, one faster, quicker, thinking before acting, acting before saying anything out loud. It was not only this inner change of a child that suffered harm, the injury caused a permanent brain change within the frontal lobe being most impacted. For some reason this began a series of hallucinations and waking nightmares. I will do my best to explain these events and what happened after. However, remember I was a 6-year-old child, and although I feel I see these memories clear, I feel in writing them it may not come across as clear or transparent as I hope. Firstly, I knew what I was seeing could not be real. The sight of a horse's head bucking at me would not leave my sight, eyes open or closed. This live horse's head, coming at me constantly, rolling over with my face into the pillow. I could still see the horse head, and in one way I knew it was an hallucination because I could still see it with my eyes closed and facing away. Secondly was ugly man hiding behind the door of my parents' bedroom. Green head, red hair, the head was just like an 80s toy. I had the little man for a suit, and again in one way I knew he was not real because he looked just like the talking head toy I had, but there he was behind the door, peeking out and back again. Thirdly, I started to see bodies in cars that were not there. People posed and stopped motion, until we got closer and they faded away more and more, so it became normal and unworthy of conversation. After all, it was just a child imagination, or was it? In my adult life, sometimes I am too in tune with my surroundings, from knowing people's stories before they have told me, meeting familiar people I have never met before, writing things on my computer to have those same words said from my TV seconds later, writing down business ideas to come to realize you only predicted an upcoming trend or someone else just opened that same business. Someone named their business that name and brand I wrote up, aka Mud Water Organic Coffee Blend. Acquired brain injury, acquired. The ghostliness only got stranger from there. So one night, on a date for homemade pizzas, the following happened. I give you not shit. So, I had met this girl at the club one night and she asked me on a date for homemade pizzas. I met this girl out one night. It was refreshing to meet someone for the first time. She made me laugh and we had a few drinks. Flirting was obvious and continued via text and gaining an invite for a first date. She was interested in me. I was stalked, so I quickly replied, "Yeah, sure, I love to." For the date she had asked me to come around for homemade pizzas at a house that she was house sitting. The house was in a place called Springfield Avenue. Even on my approach I had a funny feeling in my gut that something wasn't quite right. Anyway, not wanting to let the anxiety disappoint the night, mustering up courage, making my way to the door, I've decided that I was going to go ahead and knock, knock, knock. She welcomed me in, as you would any other guest, me giving her a bottle of wine and a bunch of flowers that she quickly rested on the table beside the door. She gave me a big hug, squeezing tight, and of course I squeezed back, kissing her cheek as we break free. My eyes open, I gazed over her left shoulder and saw a man standing there. I swear, for a moment I could see somebody standing there. I was shocked for a second, thinking, shit. Someone else is here. I saw a man in a pair of blue jeans, black t-shirt, a bald head. He was just standing there. As I focused my eyes and went to ask who is that, blinking twice, I look again. There is no one there. At first I thought it was the owner, or maybe she's got a guest. Then, realizing as she welcomed me in, showing me around the house, it was only us, just me and her, I began to wonder. But I dismissed what I had seen. It's one of those moments where you think rapidly and dismiss that thing you thought you had seen, fading into the imagination. You continue putting it to the back of the mind. Thinking back to what I had seen, I couldn't make out the eyes, and really, to be honest, well, it kinda gave me the jitters, and my hair on my arms stood up in the end with goosebumps. Only being a second date, I wasn't about to turn around and run out the door, but this wasn't really the first time I'd encountered something like this. However, it still had me pretty spooked. I thought maybe I was just seeing things, dismissive with lust. We obviously continued with the date, her being oblivious to my inner voice dramatically driving me towards the door, so we continued on having a laugh and a giggle over a bottle of wine. I look over to the open curtains, catching my eye as they move. I see the window, and in the reflection of the glass I could see a man standing there again, watching, looking over at us. I spontaneously whip my head around to the lounge room floor where the man should be standing, no one there. But still, the reflection was bold. With the black shirt and the blue jeans, I see him as clear as day in the reflection of the window, looking right at us this time. I was really spooked out and accepted the fact I was really seeing this and hiding the obvious fact I was shitting myself. In fear. Calming my heart rate through wine and playing ignorance to the spirit, I thought the night had led on pretty well, so I thought, what the hell? I'll stay around a little bit longer, seeing if the mood gets stranger or better between us. In the back of my mind I still had that feeling that I should bail, death rolling out the door. After the pizza and a few glasses of wine, we started to get to know each other just a little bit more. In the lounge we lie and even had a laugh about the odd sounds we would make if we spoke, as mature as the dictionary had intended, so sophisticated with sarcasm. We definitely had a spark. So the night progresses dramatically. Sam continues. As we drew closer together, pheromones released, highlighting the expressive sexual intentions. The room felt small as it began to fill up with our sexual desires. As our energies began to lust for one another, reaching out and joining skins, fingertip to fingertip, arm lightly caressing arm, drawing closer, chest to chest, hip over hip as she sat on my lap. Dry friction begins, the moist lips touch in a moment of kinetic energy. My spine tingles as she ran her nails down the back of my neck, my lips drawn towards her neck, landing where they may. The passion pauses. Then, noticing as I open my eyes as I'm looking through her hair, looking up sidewards, I see a man, the same man, standing there, staring with no visible eyes. I try to make focus, blinking my eyes, still he's there. His eyes like black pits into the abyss. I couldn't focus, like fuzz in your eyes. I try to flush it out, blink, blink. I was unable to focus, no pupils, no eyes, only a black fuzzy haze substance where the eyes should be. Wanting the company of a female, I continue to make out with her, but I'm holding back with the expectation that this dude is watching. A ghost, black shirt, blue jeans, bald skin-covered head, eyes of evil. I grew uncomfortable. It's in that moment she decided she needed to go to the bathroom. She was in there for about 45 seconds. I think in that time, I kind of whipped my head around, looking at the room with my heart pounding. I got that overwhelming feeling that I wasn't alone, pushing closer like a wind brushed through the window. Whoosh. You're not welcome. A man's voice shattered my ears, through to my heart, gushing past towards to the door. Before I could think or react, my date returned, jumping on my lap, pressing her body hard against mine. As she pulls me forward into her bust, I thought, oh, maybe I should keep on going, but I really want to stop, maybe. Thinking, should I leave? With wild thoughts racing, my lips met and matched hers with passion and the lust of sexual intercourse. All negative thoughts faded. It's then, in that moment, she pauses again, jumps up, stating her need to take 5 and use the toilet again. I thought to myself, alright, that was a little bit strange. She came out another couple of seconds later. It was a bit off-putting, to be honest. At this point, I'm no longer turned on, due to the strange happenings. Happening here, right now. It was in these few moments I decided I should bail. Before I do, she rushes out, jumps on me again, pinning me down, and with force starts making out with me again, but I'm not into it. Pulling me in close and squeezing tightly with her fingers intertwined with my t-shirt, I think to myself, F-U-C-K, this shit is getting real. Alright, this is getting a little bit too much, I tell myself as I took the first step to pulling away. But as I did, her grip intensified, clenching into my skin. Then suddenly, once again she stopped, paused and said, "I need to go to the bathroom," and off she went again down the hall to the bathroom once again. As quick as she went into the bathroom she returned back, but this time she was different. She was not herself at all. I can feel it in my guts, something is wrong. Her hands moved in a jilting manner, rapidly convulsing in each movement forward. Different than before, not her, it's not her, I rumbled to myself as my eyes drew around her body and then resume, soaking in the fragmented mannerisms. Knowing she is different, the way that she walked, the way that she moved her fingers, the way that she moved her whole shoulders, it was all just different. Thin, hunched, something is terribly wrong. My heart rate goes up and goosebumps peak like pins under skin. The inner voice screams, "Run." I'm really freaking out. As my eyes try to take focus, my mind questions, what am I trying to look at? What is wrong? What's different? My eyes are drawn to her eyes or where I should be seeing eyes. I try and focus on her eyes or where they should be. I'm trying to say there are no eyes. Where her eyes should be, well, I could only see black holes, deep spots of fuzzy black, big black, fuzzy black holes. I couldn't focus my eyes on hers. I'm telling you, it took me less than a split second to get my shit together, my jeans squeezed up and zipped and then leaving in a puff of smoke, only dust behind me. It was a flash of getting my shit and getting the fuck out of there, out of that house, I'm telling you. Off I ran, out the door and into the yard, brushing the evil Mr. Magoo's spirit off of my shoulders. As my legs raised high, running out of there like I was an acrophobic being showered in spiders, Sam exclaimed, took a deep breath then continues. I couldn't believe it. Somebody needed a fucking exorcism. It was crazy. A few days later I did get a text off of her. "Thank you for such a great night and what a great laugh we had. She told me to enjoy my life and hope you get back to me in the future." I guess it was sweet and all, but there's no way I could go back there after that. That's the end of this one. Thank you for listening, reading, sharing. We appreciate you. See you next time at Consciously Evolving Enterprises.